Good evening. I wanted first to make a presentation, and then I will tell you about me and about everything else. But I see that everybody, like Chris said before, he didn't want to introduce me before the break because everybody felt, it seems that they were a bit down. So we need to raise everybody's attitude. So I have a question for you. If I would tell you two words, I would ask you to tell me which one comes first to you, or which one you think it comes first. Curiosity or fear? Which one is the first one that comes to your mind, fear or curiosity? Curiosity. Okay, so those ones that are not fear of what I'm going to do right now, I would ask you kindly to stand up for a second. Please, all of you. And can we please turn off the lights? And I wanted to see exactly what you see. Let's try all together to dance to see how it feels. Thank you very much. Thank you. Does it feel better? Okay. So I would present myself. I have here some notes that, of course, like everybody, I came prepared. But after seeing what happens here, I wanted to introduce myself a bit differently. If you ask me who I am you. Now, if I told you that I'm you would be me, yeah? And it's not a psychological game. So what if I told you that I'm you? You really believe that you are me? Yes or not? No. Now, for those of you who said yes, what if I would tell you that I'm a Roma or a gypsy? Would you be afraid? You think that I'm going to steal your wallet or something? Okay, most of the people that you see here on stage, they are my brothers. That's a new band that I put together about 9 months ago. And we are all Roma, we are all gypsy. I'm also myself a Roma. To be politically correct, I'm a gypsy. So the people that you've seen dancing here, they are no others than, most of them, they are dignitaries from the European Commission and the European Parliament. So the same people, 10 minutes before we start everywhere in Europe a concert, they are dressed really well, they are very rigid, and they have an expectation that they went to a concert because they were invited or they have an obligation to go to the concert. 30 minutes into the concert, they take off their tie and they break their knees dancing from so much happiness. So in my own experience, I was born in Romania quite early. I got a lot of gray hair due to the fact that I'm a gypsy. In 1970, and I was raised in a family of gypsy musicians with a tradition in music for the last 7 generations. I started playing music very young, and by age 18, during the communism dictatorship, during the Ceausescu, I took my life in my own hands, and I crossed the borders illegally. And I worked through Romania, Yugoslavia, to Greece. Actually, I was supposed to go to Italy, but I didn't know at the time where Italy was. So I ended up in Greece. And I ended up in Greece where the things, they were not very easy in the beginning because the only way I could survive, it was just by begging or busting, to use a nicer word. I did that for a long time, and during that year, I got the opportunity to meet a lot of people. At the time when I was in Romania, the only focus I had, it was how to play really well music, which that was the only thing that my family was telling me. So I really thought that culture or education didn't really matter as long as you play music. During that year, immediately coming out of the communism and coming into the West, although it wasn't a West type of life, being just a beggar in the street, I got the opportunity to meet with a lot of people and to have this sort of type of, as American they say, because I live in the States for a long time, cultural shock. So I would meet everyday people from, you know, all of you, Greece is full of tourists, so I would meet everyday people from Sweden and Finland and the United States and all around the world. And everybody, they would ask me just one thing. Wow, how do you do that? Or how do you play with so much heart? Or what do you do like that? So everybody had curiosity when they would see me playing. Then from the other side, other people that didn't know me, at the time I didn't have a beard and I didn't look like from another part of the world, that everybody thinks that I'm something else. I'm not going to use the word. So they would ask me, what are you, if they didn't see me playing? And I said, I'm a gypsy. And immediately they were like, oh, okay. And they would try to leave. So that's why I start seeing the difference between curiosity and fear. As all of you know, and I'm not going to teach you anything new, I will just share my opinion with you and my experiences. Fear comes from the word of, if you take the 4 letters, they mean actually false evidence appearing real. So during the time, I started learning about, or I guess in my experience also with people on the first contact, I started learning what means fear and curiosity. Later on, I start working and collaborating with a lot of musicians from around the world. And except one album that I've done 18 albums that I've done with Romanian traditional music, all my other 17 albums, they were always done with people from other cultures. So out of the 17 albums, on all of them, on some of them I had 5 musicians, and on other I had 250 musicians. 90% of them, they were all musicians from different cultures. And there is one thing that always happens. When you get together, most of us, or most of them, or most of all of us, we didn't speak the same language, we didn't dress the same, but there was one thing in common. The music and the culture, I could say, they could connect us. And it always connects us in a second. The moment before we start playing, we just talk, we just share certain things, and sometimes we cannot talk, we feel uncomfortable. You know how it is, that feeling that when you don't know each other. The moment we start playing, we feel an amazing connection.